Warzone has been crazy fun recently. Since the DMR nerf, people are still trying out different loadouts and doing their best to find the next game-breaking meta in Call of Duty Warzone, and I am no different. We will be going over the FFAR versus the CR-56 AMAX. Guys, thank you so much for clicking on the video. I am Randizis, and let's get right into it. Warzone is insane right now. Every person is using a different gun. It's so refreshing. I don't even know how to deal with it. Part of me thinks this is just the future now, but we all know that that is wishful thinking. A gun will come out as top dog sooner or later. We just have to wait for it. And I think we have the two guns right here. The FFAR and the CR-56 AMAX. The AMAX being a gun that was starting to pull up when everyone was using the Kilo right before the Cold War weapons dropped. I'll be honest, I never actually personally used it when it was big. I was all about the Kilo. I still am, honestly, but after looking at the data, the Kilo just doesn't compete. So let's take a look at the stats. I've added in the Kilo 141 to this equation because it's still my favorite gun and I need to ingrain it in my brain that it just doesn't compete. As you can see here, the FFAR and the CR-56 are pretty neck and neck, with the CR-56 doing better over longer distances by maybe 1/10 of a second, which is honestly negligible, and I'm gonna say that they're equal. Where the FFAR starts to pull away from the CR-56 is when you add in ADS time. Now, this is 75% of the ADS time of each gun added to the chart. Obviously, it could be longer, but I thought this was a nice middle ground. Because the ADS of the FFAR is so much faster than that of the AMAX, the FFAR has an incredibly faster time to kill. Now, honestly, adding the ADS time is a bit weird. Reason being is that your gunfights aren't always so equal. 9 times out of 10, either you or your opponent start shooting first, maybe you duck into cover, reposition, catch them by surprise. Whereas the ADS time comes into play is more when you are caught off guard and you need to make a quick snap decision and start shooting somebody. This does happen quite a bit. It is more of a difficult skill to acquire, and I would wager that not everybody has it. So keep in mind when choosing one of these two weapons that the ADS time would be better utilized by a more skilled player. One more thing that I'd like to point out is the headshot damage. As you can see here, the FFAR has a faster time to kill when hitting all headshots up until around the 42-meter range, which is honestly quite far. I doubt you're hitting all headshots at a farther distance unless only the enemy's head is showing. At a closer distance where headshots are a little bit more common, it is definitely something to think about when deciding between these two weapons. Before we move on to the recoil test, I'm going to show you the classes I used for these builds. With the FFAR, we have the Agency Suppressor, 19.5-inch Task Force barrel, the Bruiser Grip, 15-round fast mag, and an airborne elastic wrap. The CR-56 AMAX has Monolithic Suppressor, XRK Zodiac barrel, Commando foregrip, 3x VLK optic, and a 45-round mag. The Kilo build I'm showcasing as well is the Monolithic Suppressor, Prowler barrel, Commando foregrip, 3x VLK optic, and 60-round mag, my all-time favorite build. So let's take a look at the recoil test. The FFAR definitely has the worst recoil. This can be adjusted with different attachments. Obviously, currently, for example, the Bruiser Grip is giving a 20% decrease to vertical recoil, but normally you would use the Field Agent Grip, which has a reduction to horizontal recoil as well. This attachment would tighten the spread of the FFAR, but elongate the height of the recoil pattern. It's all about what you prefer at the end of the day. For the recoil test, I would say it's pretty clear that the AMAX outclasses the FFAR. I'm not even showing the Kilo because everybody knows that the Kilo is a frickin' laser beam. Now, onto my personal favorite segment of my versus videos, my feelings. The FFAR slaps. It's like a mixture of a submachine gun and an assault rifle. This thing has beautiful iron sights. It reminds me of a slightly worse version of the Grau, which was by all accounts the perfect gun before its nerf. It's refreshing, it's competitive, it's not perfect, but I think it's one of the strongest weapons that are out right now. Obviously, the AMAX is a very viable weapon, and in the right hands, you'll be able to dominate Verdansk with either gun. What am I using? The FFAR. Reason being is that even though our recoil test showed the AMAX actually having less side to side than the FFAR, for some reason I feel like I'm more consistent with it than the AMAX. I still really like the AMAX. It's what I wish the AK-47 was, but the FFAR has this little fire to it that I just can't get enough of. Plus, if I get the FFAR gold, it actually goes towards dark matter as opposed to the AMAX being a DLC gun that doesn't really count for that camo. But that's neither here nor there, really. Guys, if you liked the video, like the video. If you loved the video, subscribe down below and let me know in the comment section if you prefer the FFAR or the AMAX. Also, come hang out and stream sometime. Peace out.